the sword immortal who shook all three realms. Had a weird little habit. On his downtime, he'd show up at this tiny clinic in a mortal town and ask me to massage his feet. It helps me rest. Just do it, don't ask questions. I had no idea what she was thinking, but as a regular mortal, I just went along with it. Nobody could figure out why a cold, untouchable sword immortal would have anything to do with some nobody mortal doctor. Little did they know, that ice-cold sword immortal everyone feared couldn't last 3 moves against me, even going all out. See, I'd transmigrated into this cultivation world, only to find out I had 0 spiritual roots, a totally ordinary mortal. My system didn't give me any cultivation power, just a pile of completely useless skills. Over 10+ years, I'd mastered everything the system threw at me. Music, chess, medicine, gossip. But cultivation? Couldn't even get started. My body straight up couldn't absorb spiritual energy, so to make a living, I opened a little clinic in town. All I wanted was to lay low, live quietly, and just coast through this life. It was pouring outside. No way anyone was coming in today. I was just about to go kick back when I caught a glimpse of a figure at the end of the street, stumbling through the rain. A girl, all alone in the downpour, soaked to the bone, not even trying to shield herself. Her name was Ye Qinghan. Just 3 months ago, she was the pride of the Jialan Empire, 18 years old and already at the 8th level of nascent soul. Among everyone her age in the entire empire, only 3 could even come close. Then out of nowhere, she got hit with a rare poison and watched her cultivation crumble away. Step by step, she became a nobody. Since you're useless now, at least do something for the empire. Those were the last words her emperor father ever said to her. Then he married her off to the Nalan family of Yunlin sect, to be wed to the Yunlin sect's core formation young master, a spoiled brat who got there purely by popping pills. The thought of it made her reach for the sword she'd carried for years and press it against her own throat. Better to die than live in humiliation. But then, a voice came from behind her. "Hey miss, you out here all by yourself in this rain?" She spun around and I finally got a good look at her. Beautiful face. But those eyes were full of nothing but confusion and despair. "Miss?" I called out again, holding my umbrella over her head. Next second, she coughed up blood and collapsed right into my arms. With the last bit of consciousness she had, she sent out her divine sense to scan me, and got nothing. No spiritual energy whatsoever, just a regular mortal. "Miss, are you okay? Wait, she's been poisoned." When Ye Qinghan finally came to, I was about to give her some medicine. Our eyes met. Awkward. She frowned at me, then looked down at the blanket covering her. Her clothes were folded on the chair nearby. Her face went red. She was about to blow up, but started coughing instead. "Miss, the poison's still in your system. You need to calm down and rest. As for your clothes, I asked the neighbor lady, Mrs. Jiang, to change them for you. No need to be upset." "What did you just say?" "No, not that. The poison in my body. You actually cured it?" "Yeah, try not to get worked up. You still need to rest." I was a little confused. It was just a basic poison. Why was she freaking out? "I'm fine, I need to change. Could you step out for a sec?" Sure. The second I stepped out, she circulated her power to check her body, and was stunned. Over half the poison was already gone. She went quiet for a moment. She needed to know, how did a mortal pull that off? Right then, I knocked on the door. "Come in. If you don't mind, I've got some hot tea." "Have some. Warm yourself up." I came in with the tea. She took the cup but didn't drink. She just sat there, staring out at the rain with this unreadable look on her face. I sat across from her and studied her expression. This girl had way too much presence to be ordinary. Probably a cultivator. She noticed me staring and got a little annoyed. This guy's got some nerve. "Miss, you'll need to take some medicine to clear out the rest of the poison." "May I ask, how exactly did you cure my poison?" "Your complexion is dull, there's dark energy around your eyes, and your pulse is weak and rootless. Mind if I take your pulse?" She blinked. A mortal taking her pulse? The greatest healers in the Imperial Court couldn't even touch her poison. Even if this guy got lucky with the first part, the rest was insanely complex. Could he actually do anything? But he meant well, so she held out her wrist. I placed my fingers on her pulse and closed my eyes. "The remaining poison. I've got something here that can handle it." She opened her mouth and stopped herself. Fine. She'd humor the well-meaning mortal. His medicine couldn't possibly work anyway. I got to work at the medicine cabinet while she quietly shook her head. What quality ingredients could a mortal even have? But in less than 15 minutes, a bowl of dark brown medicine was done. I walked back over and handed it to her. "Drink this. It should help a lot." She looked at the plain, unimpressive bowl of medicine and smiled bitterly. Then she took it and downed it in one go. But the next moment, her expression completely changed. That ordinary-looking medicine hit her like a tidal wave of pure energy. It surged through every meridian in her body, and the 9 yin 100 bones poison that had been festering inside her for months started to dissolve. Even her cultivation, which had crashed all the way down to the 8th level of chi refinement, was rapidly recovering. And then some. She stared at the empty bowl in her shaking hands. "Do you have any idea how hard that poison was to cure? It required millennium-old snow lotus from the 1,000 Peaks, 10 million-year cordyceps, shadow-winged dragon blood only found in the demon realm, and a grandmaster cultivator at least at the 3rd level of immortal venerable who specialized in medicine. 99 days of refining just to produce the antidote, and the entire Jialan Empire couldn't even gather those ingredients. But this seemingly ordinary mortal doctor did it in 15 minutes like it was nothing. There was only one explanation. His true level was far beyond anything she could perceive. The thought hit her like a lightning bolt and her legs went weak. This so-called mortal was actually a hidden supreme grandmaster. You're looking much better now, miss." I looked her over, feeling pretty satisfied. Honestly though, I had no idea what my medicine actually did. The system said it'd work, so I just followed the recipe. Hey, if the patient gets better, that's a win. Though her reaction was kinda weird. She froze up and started shaking after one sip. Was it really that bitter? "Miss, you okay?" I reached out to steady her. "The poison's cleared out, but I need to do a couple acupuncture points to stabilize your meridians." Ye Qinghan nodded, shyly slipped off her top and exposed her back. I took out the silver needles and slowly performed the Big Dipper acupuncture on her back. Once I finished, she snapped back to her senses, dropped to her knees, and bowed. "Senior, I can't thank you enough. I have nothing to offer in return. What are you doing? We met by chance. That's fate enough. No need to talk about repayment. But hearing that only made her more certain. Classic hermit master energy, totally above worldly things. I'll carry your words with me, senior. I scratched my head. Why does she keep kneeling and calling me senior? What's your name, miss? She looked up and for some reason her heart started racing. My name is Yiqing Han. Qing Han, nice name, suits you perfectly. Senior! Yiqing Han's cheeks went pink as she looked down. It had been a long time since anyone said something like that to her. Ever since she lost her power, all she'd heard was mockery and contempt. Senior. She took a deep breath and met his eyes. What you did for me today, I'll never forget it for as long as I live. I still have something urgent to deal with, but I will come back to repay you. Please don't turn me away when I do. I hear you, you're always welcome here. Those words filled Yiqing with warmth. She glanced out the window. The rain had eased up quite a bit. I'll take my leave now. She stood up, eyes full of resolve. All she wanted now was to go back to Yunlin sect and cut off that humiliating engagement herself. She turned and walked to the door, then suddenly stopped and looked back at me. Senior! She started to say something, then stopped. In the end, she just gave a deep, heartfelt bow. Then with a flash, he disappeared into the rain like a streak of light. I shook my head and turned back inside. No way I'm opening up shop in this rain, might as well just chill. I was about to head back to my room when I heard something at the door. A little fluffy head peeked in. It was a fox. Snow white fur, bright blue eyes, tiny and absolutely adorable. Hey little guy, where'd you come from? I crouched down and scooped the little fox up. Its body was covered in tiny wounds, blood seeping out, staining that white fur red. Injuries looked pretty bad. Poor little thing. Seeing it hurt like that, I couldn't help but feel bad for it. I set the little fox down on the counter. Hold on, let me grab some medicine. And with that, I headed to the back room. The little fox lay on the counter, narrowed its eyes, and smirked inside. Talk about a tiger fallen on hard times. It, Suengxi, the mighty young chief of the Heavenly Fox clan. Last night it was supposed to break through to the Mahayana stage, but got ambushed by rival demon clans and failed the tribulation. The lightning tribulation nearly killed it, and while running, it got hunted down by the Nalan family patriarch of the Yunlan sect. The old geezer only had divine transformation realm cultivation, but in its heavily injured state, it couldn't fight back at all, forced to burn its last teleportation treasure just to barely escape. Now its cultivation was completely gone. It couldn't even hold a human form, just crawling along in its fox body, barely hanging on. Of all places to run, it ended up running into some random human. It was already scheming. If it could devour this guy, maybe it could recover some cultivation. With cultivation back, it'd still have a shot at a comeback. On top of that, this guy had the nerve to feel it all over while it was vulnerable. It was so mad its fur was standing on end. The young chief of the Heavenly Fox clan, getting groped by some random human. The absolute humiliation. This man has a death wish. I came back carrying a bowl of herbal medicine. Here you go, little guy, drink up. I set the medicine in front of the little fox. It stared at that dark, murky bowl. It was totally unimpressed. The damage inside it was from a lightning tribulation. Some human herbs? Yeah, right. But it figured it'd take a lick anyway. It was really thirsty. The next second, it was left speechless. This medicine was loaded with an insane amount of medicinal power. The moment it hit its tongue, it was like 1,000 waves of warmth flooding through its body. And those lightning tribulation wounds that nearly destroyed it were visibly healing in real time. And that wasn't all. Its demon body was actually starting to evolve, fur shifting from white to silver white. Its bloodline was evolving, and everyone knows how nearly impossible that is for demonkind. It had been stuck for hundreds of years, and now a few sips of some medicine just pushed it through. Even more insane, its cultivation was coming back. It stared wide-eyed, frozen stiff, looking at the human in front of it who was smiling like nothing was happening. In that moment, its mind was absolutely blown. Whoever could casually pull out medicine like this was no ordinary human. Even at peak tribulation crossing realm, it couldn't see through this guy's level at all. There was only one explanation. This guy was a terrifying powerhouse above Immortal Venerable, and that casual little grope earlier? That was him saying, "You little tribulation realm fox, you're no different from a regular fox to me. I can do whatever I want with you," and I was literally just thinking about devouring him? That's a straight up death wish. Hey little guy, why'd you stop drinking? My voice came out firm. Behave. Finish the medicine. It flinched hard, looked up at me, heart sinking. Oh no. Did he see through the killing intent from earlier? It was trembling all over, then immediately started gulping the whole thing down in one go. After finishing, it patted its little belly with both paws and looked up at me all cute and pitiful. I cracked up. What a funny little thing. I reached out and rubbed the little fox's head. Come stay with me, I'll take care of you. It went stiff immediately. Why does he want to keep me? Is he after my Heavenly Fox bloodline? Is he gonna bleed me dry and brew me into medicine? But it didn't dare say no. Refuse now and it might just get wiped out on the spot. It let out a soft little cry and nuzzled my palm. I nodded, satisfied, then thought for a second. Gotta give you a name. I'll call you Xiaobai. Xiaobai. It was the young chief of the Heavenly Fox clan, the #1 beauty of the demon world. And it got named Xiaobai, but it didn't dare complain. It just let out another little cry in acceptance. I laughed and patted its head. Good. Stick with me. I promise you won't go hungry. Suengxi lay on the counter watching my back, feeling all kinds of mixed emotions. Being kept as a pet by a powerhouse. Honestly, when you think about it, it's not the worst thing. At least it beats the non-stop killing back in the demon world. Plus that bowl of medicine just now, easily top 10 on the divine medicine rankings. Every single drop was priceless, and this guy just casually used it to feed a random fox. It quietly made up its mind. From now on, it was latching onto this powerhouse and never letting go. Meanwhile, at the Nalan family estate of the Yunlan sect, Nalan Xiaogong was visibly pissed. His fiancée Yiqing Han had actually run off on their wedding day. Where the hell did this useless woman go? Nalan Xiaogong slammed the table and roared. He never thought much of Yiqing Han, just a waste with zero cultivation. If it weren't for his grandfather pushing this marriage to strengthen ties with the imperial family, he wouldn't even spare her a glance. And now this waste had the guts to skip out on the wedding. Absolutely unbelievable. Right then, a young woman walked in. It was Ye Qinghan, but she looked completely different. Ice cold. Nothing like the broken mess she was before. "Where'd you run off to?" Nalan Xiaogong glared at her. Ye Qinghan just gave him a cold look. "Where's the Nalan family patriarch?" "The patriarch? The patriarch is a busy man. Who do you think you are, asking to see him?" "Ye Qinghan, our Yunlin sect is only marrying you out of respect for the emperor. Otherwise, you wouldn't even be worthy of carrying my shoes. Now get back to your room and try on your wedding dress." Ye Qinghan listened to all of that and let a small smile creep onto her lips. As far as Nalan Xiaogong was concerned, he was just a guy who pill-popped his way to Golden Core Realm. Of course, he couldn't tell she'd already gotten her cultivation back. She couldn't wait to see the looks on their faces when she dragged the Yunlan sect's reputation through the dirt in front of everyone. "Fine, I'm going." Ye Qinghan turned and walked out. Nalan Xiaogong watched her go, a flash of cold menace crossing his eyes. Meanwhile, back at the shop, I had brewed myself a bowl of sweet herbal soup and was sipping away. Once the rain stopped, a wave of patients showed up. Mostly regular folks who'd gotten sick from being soaked in the storm. I'd been slammed all afternoon and hadn't even eaten, so I threw together a sweet soup using some of the sugary herbs from the cabinet. I was mid-sip when a little head popped up at the edge of the bowl. Xiaobai was on the table. Those big watery eyes were locked onto my soup, little paws twitching with excitement. I laughed and slid the bowl over. "Go ahead." Xiaobai immediately buried its face in and started lapping it up. While it drank, its mind was racing. This soup had Tianshan Snow Lotus and Zumi Demon Flower in it, two of the rarest spiritual plants in existence. A single petal of either could start a bloodbath out in the world, and this guy just used them to make sweet soup and fed it to a fox. It was completely done. This powerhouse's moves were on another level. Way better than the killing fields of the demon world. It made up its mind right then. It was never leaving. "Hey Xiaobai, is it good?" Xiaobai nodded like crazy, patting its little belly, and I couldn't help but laugh. "Oh right, the Yunlan sect is hosting a wedding banquet today, open to the whole city. I pulled out an invitation. Come on, let's go get a free meal." With that, I scooped Xiaobai up and headed out of the clinic. Xiaobai lay in my arms, eyes narrowing. The Yunlin sect, the one who hunted it down last night, was the Yunlin sect patriarch. Some divine transformation realm nobody had the nerve to hunt me down. Let's see if that old fool still dares act up in front of this powerhouse today. But I had absolutely no idea what the little fox in my arms was thinking. I just wanted a free meal.